to another episode of Fight Briefing, episode number 32, I believe we're on. And today we're going to be discussing UFC Fight Night 179. Hope everybody is.
Wonderful.
I'm wonderful. Today we're going to discuss the main card, UFC Fight Night 179, Cory Sandhagen versus Marlon Moraes, or Marlon Moraes versus Sandhagen, however you want to pronounce it. That's what we're discussing today. Let's see who's in the chat.
Wonderful.
Let's welcome who's in the chat. We've got Double Champ, Drunk Savage, Aiden Oliveris, Marker, David Lopez, Boss Kogar, Matt Stone, Mike H in the chat, Kiwi, Shepdog, wonderful. Nice to see everyone. Let's talk about tonight's card. I mean, Saturday night's card, not tonight's card. You guys know the difference. Moraes versus Sandhagen. I was actually looking over this card, the prelims as well, a little bit, and I'm not like disappointed in the card. I think it's going to be better than what it was last weekend. Last weekend we got kind of a slow night. Some people said it wasn't really worth the watch, but I think this one's going to be a little bit more entertaining than what we got last weekend. Kicking off the card, we have Thomas Almeida versus Alejandro Perez, and then we've got Tom Aspinall versus Alan Baudot. Can someone pronounce his name for me, please? I'm going to say, he's French, I think, so I'm going to say Baudot. I don't know.
Yes,
This is a replacement fight, by the way. And then the next fight, Markus Perez versus Dricus du Plessis. Ben Rothwell versus Marcin Tybura. I'm actually kind of interested in this fight. Moss is not so much interested in this fight. Edson Barboza versus Makwan Amirkhani is the co-main event, and then Marlon Moraes versus Cory Sandhagen is the co-main event. So let's get started on the first fight of the night. Let me knock this out for you guys. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. Thomas Almeida versus Alejandro Perez. Oh, hold on 1 second. Should I put on some music while I do this? I gotta fix something. Talk to each other in the chat. I gotta fix something real quick.
Wonderful.
Okay, I had to fix something real quick, and I didn't want you guys just staring at nothing and getting no content while I'm fixing something. Yes, Double Champ, I know you did lose a bet. Don't worry. I'm well aware. I watch the Discord all the time, guys, by the way. In case you didn't know, I see a lot more than you think I see. And yeah, don't worry, bro. All right. Now let's get started on the first fight, shall we? Thomas Almeida versus Alejandro Perez. I like this fight. I thought it was supposed to be on the preliminaries, this fight. But I guess it's not. It's on the main card. I feel like Thomas Almeida has had a difficult time finding opponents as of late. But he's got a pretty good fighting style. He's got a good opponent here in Alejandro Perez. Perez is a pretty decent striker, and the guy is swift. I don't know. I feel like this fight was not too difficult to choose. Let's see who the favorite is real quick. Let me pull it up over here. Who the favorite of Almeida versus Perez is. Pull you over here. Let's see who the favorite is. Where's it at? Yeah, see, it's not even on the main card here. How weird is that, right? Tapology doesn't even have it on the main card. It's not even on this card. Is it canceled? Is this fight canceled? Oh! Okay. That's a little weird. Let's see. Thomas Almeida versus Alejandro Perez. Let's see. Alejandro Perez is out. Thomas Almeida now faces Jonathan Martinez. What? Still get to compete at Fight Island, but will be 1 week later than originally expected. So they postponed it. Oh, shit. All right. So then I don't have to brief this one. Oh, shit. That's wonderful. Okay. Then let's move on to the next one. Tom Aspinall versus No Face. This guy with no face. Alan, I'm going to call him Baudot. Baudot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to say Baudot. Let's go with that. The fight was supposed to be Aspinall versus Sergey Spivak, I believe. And unfortunately, that fight fell through. I don't know the reason Sergey Spivak fell through. I just know that he was not able to fight. It is what it is. I do believe the Spivak fight would have been more exciting. Simply, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with Alan Baudot that much. He seems to be a pretty explosive fighter. He's fast. He's powerful. He's a pretty good kickboxer. Aspinall competes with all of those things well, though. So I think given that he's got tremendous finishing power, he's a BJJ black belt. Also, the fact that Baudot is coming in on short notice kind of leads me to believe he's not really going to be ready for what Aspinall has in store for him. So I went with the Aspinall by submission here. I don't really know. Let me know who you guys have in the chat.
Wonderful.
Justin Jr. says, hey, brother, Cole Vic, where them contender series kid at? Go Aspinall. What is this? Welcome, Hugh. Is Fat Face Moss. Submission? Yeah, I went submission on this one. Drunk Savage says Aspinall. That's who I got. Aspinall submission. Fat Face Jesse in the chat says I ate the other guy's picture. Sorry, guys.
Wonderful.
Nick C, my dude, what up? Joe B, Booty, Matt Bro, Alex Bro, Baudot, Alan Baudot. Thank you. Baudot. I appreciate it. JBM on point. Aspinall knockout round 1 says Justin. And H with the thumbs up says double champ. Aspinall KO. All right, so it looks like we're all kind of in agreement that Aspinall's probably going to win this fight. Yeah, I'm going to go with it. Aspinall. But I went submission. I decided to play a little risky for this card. So I went with submission for this fight. Let's move on to the next fight of the main card. Technically the second fight, not the third fight. Markus Perez versus Dricus du Plessis. Plessis? What is with all these weird freaking names, man? This is Dricus's UFC debut. So I'm not really sure what to expect in this fight. I did a little research on the guy. He's got a pretty good finishing record. He's got 9 submissions and 5 KO TKOs. He's got a pretty good ground game. He flaunts Muay Thai fighting style, which is pretty interesting. But Perez is a great striker as well, and a BJJ black belt. My assumptions are that Dricus is going to kind of realize the power in Perez's game pretty quick. May have to stay more, or may have to get up more than stay on the ground, although I do think that he's more comfortable playing on the ground. At the end of the day, though, I haven't really seen enough of Dricus against high-level opponents to really be worried about his record, his finishing record. So I'm going to go with the UFC veteran in this fight. I went with Perez by submission in the second. I think his ground game is impeccable, and I really don't think that this is something that this new guy coming into the UFC is something that he can compete with. So I went with Perez by submission in the second. Let me know who you guys have in the chat. Cole Vic says, might want to gauge what org he fought for. We can just take a look over here if you want. Take a look on Tapology, what organizations he fought for. Let's see. Let's go over to Perez versus Dricus. Dricus is from South Africa. All right, let's take a look. Dricus Stillknox. Is that his name? Stillknox? Okay. It doesn't even say on here. Oh, yes, it does. I'm kidding. Let's see. We've got EFC, KSW, all organizations I don't really pay attention to, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. He's got a good record, this guy. Been knocked out once, but his record speaks for itself. It's just difficult for me to say that this guy is going to be able to perform the same way against high level or against UFC level competition. We've never seen him fight UFC level competition before. So I feel like maybe he's in for a little bit more than he's prepared for. So I'm going to play it safe and go Markus Perez by submission in the second on this one. All right, next fight, third fight, Ben Rothwell versus Marcin Tybura. I actually like this fight. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why Moss isn't the biggest fan of this fight. Maybe it's just me, but I feel that this fight has so many opportunities to be entertaining. You've got the brooding yet heavy striking of Rothwell, who just likes to kind of sloppily walk into combinations with his opponents. And then you've got the stagnant Tybura, who's most likely going to want to spend all of his time inside the clinch or on the ground and grind his way to a decision. So it's kind of comical when you envision this fight happening. Given that Rothwell has kind of an all-right takedown defense, I'm just going to say he wins here. This fight was tailor-made to be a fluff fight on the card, in my opinion. So this will be the fight that you go to refill your popcorn or your drinks or whatever, if you're not into slower, more plotting fights against the cage. But I don't know. I think it's going to be entertaining in some weird, bizarre way. So I went with Rothwell. I think he's going to pick apart a decision. Not even pick apart. I mean, yeah, pick apart. He's going to try and use like elbows and shit like that against the cage. But I don't know. I think it's going to be entertaining. Let me know what you guys have in the chat.
Wonderful.
Let's see. Nicole Switcher picks his Alex Level. Shedback says, every time I pick against Rothwell, he wins. I got to pick him, so I hope I don't jinx it. LOL, no tomato cans laying on each other. Marker says, donuts, kiwi. Heel can. Oh.
Yeah. Come on, get loud, MMA holes in the crowd. Come on, get loud, MMA holes in the crowd. Got MMA holes in the crowd. MMA holes in the crowd. MMA holes in the crowd.
Kiwi.
Duplessis, how you say the Cephas Nane.
Thank you. Duplessis, not Duplessis. It's probably good that I know these because I'm probably going to be the one ending up calling these fights, knowing my luck. I'll call a fight with a name I can't pronounce. Duplessis. Dricus Duplessis. Samuel.
Wonderful.
The Wyoming Cowboys need a new defensive coordinator.
Wyoming Cowboys need a new defensive coordinator. Okay, Samuel. Thank you for letting us know. Okay, guys. Let's move on to the next fight. Edson Barboza versus Makwan Amirkhani, the co-main event.
Wonderful.
Who is this? Fat Face Jesse.
Someone please help. Moss put a padlock on the fridge. I'm too hungry. All I've had is some cake, ice cream, pie, pizza, steak, candy, steak and meatloaf. And I found a hair growing from one of my chins. And it was grey, you guys.
It's the truth.
Crying face.
It's the truth. Thank you, Fat Face Jesse. All right, guys. Edson Barboza versus Makwan Amirkhani. Now, I like this as a co-main event, if I had to be perfectly honest. Edson Barboza isn't exactly old for a fighter yet. I saw some people on Twitter talking about his age a little bit, but the guy's already been there, done that in his career. So I can understand if you think that the guy's time might be approaching, but he's not old for a fighter. I mean, old for a fighter is like when you hit in your 40s, in fairness, if we're really going to go there. The guy's like, what, 34, I think? Let me just double check before I say that. I'm pretty sure he's 34. He is, 34. So I don't know. That's not really old. We still have like champs and stuff who are older than that. It's kind of crazy that people are thinking Edson Barboza's best time is behind him. The guy's an excellent striker. I'd like to say that he still has some left in the tank. I don't know if I'm going to fall into this trap of everybody thinking that he's not he doesn't have what it takes. It's important to note too, though, that Amirkhani has been knocked out before by the hands of Shane Burgos. So something Edson Barboza can really capitalize is that chin. Now, Amirkhani is a decent wrestler, but I don't know. Barboza isn't typically the easiest fighter to get to the ground. His defense is pretty good, and I think he's going to excel at keeping this more strategic fight on the feet. Given Amirkhani's history with his chin, though, and the fact that Barboza is probably going to do a pretty good job keeping it on the feet, I'm leaning towards Barboza in this fight. I went with Barboza by KO TKO in the first. I think he's going to finish this fight quick, but let me know who you guys have in the chat. I'm going to blow a gasket if I can't get to the website. This is pissing me off. Now I can't even hear on my iPad. I got no sound. Okay, so everyone who keeps like reaching out about the website and stuff, yes, we are fully aware that the website is down right now. There's a 405 error because our website got flooded. So we're working on it. There's nothing we can do right now aside from wait and let the hosting site take care of it. So you guys are just going to have to be patient. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to do. I can't do anything for you right now. It'll be back soon. I promise. All right. Now let me know who you guys have in the chat.
Wonderful, wonderful.
The other guy, Barboza all the way, says Shepdog. Barboza 50K. Right here where you at. Edson will win. I went Barboza by KO TKO in the second. If you lose that fight, Nicole, we never had this conversation. Old for a fighter is being on the wrong side of 35. I got Barboza. I think he defends the takedowns and starts picking apart Makwan with his kicks. Makwan can get takedowns. It's just not the whole fight. Chill People says Double Champ. Everybody, let's send MMA-HOLES angry DMs about the website. Well, you guys already are, so it's not like I don't know what the fuck you want. It's like a bunch of Karens hitting us up in the DMs. It's crazy. I got Barboza by KO. JBM 2021. Edison? You mean Edson? Boss says Alex Lovell. All right, guys. Let's move on to the main event of the evening and wrap this show up. Marlon Moraes versus Cory Sandhagen. An all right main event, if you ask me. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one, more than I think the last card. In fairness, you got a good striker in Moraes. His leg kicks are as brutal as they come. He has combinations that do nasty damage in all areas of his opponent. He's quick. He has impeccable timing. In terms of weaknesses, I wouldn't necessarily say he gasses out, but he definitely does slow down in a lot of his fights. Sandhagen is an incredible striker as well, but with a much different style. They do not strike the same at all. He also shines both offensively and defensively on the ground, which is something that I think Moraes is going to have to be very careful of. I feel given Sandhagen knows Moraes will eventually slow down, Sandhagen's probably going to want to strategically strike Moraes to eventually slow him down and then just kind of pick him apart there. The reason I don't think that this will work is simply because Moraes is so quick and efficient with his striking, which leads me to believe that Sandhagen would take too much damage in that process. That said, I'm going to go with Moraes by KO TKO in the second. Let me know who you guys have in the chat.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Fatface Jesse says, will you subscribe to my OnlyFans? Bologna Sandwich says Staley. Horrible betting card says Roberto. Nicole. Oh, Eddie, that's mean. Double Champ says Marlon by KO. Boss Kogar. I got Moraes by high-pitched voice. Drunk Savage. I hope Sandhagen can get a win here. Noel says if Moraes doesn't have diarrhea, he'll win for sure. Moronic Emergency says will Moraes gas. Joby says Sandhagen late rounds. Shepdog says LOL. Noel. Sandhagen round 4 KO says Nicole Wilson. Aiden says Cory Sandhagen unanimous decision. Steve Sparks says Staley. Gene Pinkett says I love you Karen. Please come back. Vigo says Vigo's butt. Staley says Vigo's butt. I got Morales too says Ann H. Roberto Lopez says Sandhagen. Alex Lovell. Moraes sells used DVD players 3 blocks from my house. All right. Do you buy any? You should send some to the MMA-HOLES. Love Sandhagen says Raymond. All right, guys. So those are my picks for UFC Fight Night 179 or UFC Fight Island 5, if you want to call it that. Just to run over them real quick once again. Oh, you can see their face in the background. That's pretty cool. Almeida's not on the card anymore. He's been moved to next week. Aspinall versus Baudot. Did I pronounce it right this time? Baudot. I went with Aspinall by submission in the second. And then we've got Markus Perez versus Dricus. Oh, fuck. How did he say to pronounce it? He said Plessis. Dricus Plessis, I think is how it's pronounced. I went with Perez by submission in the second. I know a lot of people had KO TKO on that one, but I'm going to go with submission. Ben Rothwell versus Marcin Tybura. Rothwell decision. I think it's going to be a slow-burning fight, but for some reason it's going to be slightly entertaining. Edson Barboza versus Makwan Amirkhani. I went with Barboza by KO TKO in the first, and then I went with Moraes for our main event, KO TKO in the second. In the comment section after the stream, guys, I want you to let me know who you guys have for the main card, fan fight picks, and then we will be live tomorrow for Fook Off Friday. I already lost one of my well-respected J-Crew members to a bet in the Discord, so I'm going to have to try and make up that somewhere tomorrow and try and get the belt back. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you share the stream, like the stream. See you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, don't be a Judas hole, be an MMA hole.